All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
And today, we are tackling an incredible story.
Yeah.
So get ready.
Definitely incredible.
We're going to be looking at Hamda Al-Ruwaili, a Saudi mother of 19 who just earned her doctorate.
Wow.
I know, right? 19
kids.
19 kids and a doctorate.
So we're going to be looking through news articles, social media posts, all the things.
Oh, wow.
To kind of see, like, how did she do it?
Right.
Like, what's the secret? Because this is packed with inspiration, but maybe a little time management envy, too, maybe.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, 19 children and a doctorate. I'm jealous of both.
So let's dive in. Let's, like, instead of just like, wow, she did that, like, how?
Right. Exactly.
Like, how is this possible? So, our sources kind of paint a picture of her daily life. It's a lot.
Yeah.
She works in mental health administration. She runs her own e-commerce business. Oh, and she's raising 19 children.
Uh-huh.
And then also finds time to get a doctorate.
It's mind-boggling.
It really is, yeah. How do you even conceptualize that?
Right. Like, how do you fit it all in?
Yeah.
But, one thing that stood out to me in the material was her mindset.
Okay.
She's quoted as saying that she can't stand chaos. She thrives on meticulous planning.
I love that.
So, like, what does that even look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah, what is that level of planning?
Right. Like, is this color-coded spreadsheets? Is it, like military precision schedules? Like, how does she actually make this work?
Yeah, how much of it is scheduling versus, like, an overall mindset?
Right.
Like, how does she even conceptualize her day-to-day?
Right, because, it's not just about scheduling her day.
Right.
It's about managing this massive family, her work, her business. It's like, all these different things going on.
It's systems thinking almost, right?
Yeah. Like, she's almost like applying project management principles to her life, maybe?
Like, her life is the project,
Yeah.
and everything else fits under that.
Yeah. So it's not just reacting to this daily whirlwind. It's like she's proactively creating a structure that lets her function at this high level with all this crazy stuff going on.
All this chaos.
Yeah. And this wasn't just like a one-size-fits-all approach either.
Right.
One of the things that I found fascinating from the sources was that she actually drew inspiration from a couple of unusual places.
Okay.
Teachers and Army officers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, I have to admit, when I first read that, I was like, wait, what? What do teachers and Army officers have to do with raising 19 children?
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's like, it's not immediately obvious,
It's not.
but when you think about it a little more deeply, it does make some sense.
Right.
So teachers and Army officers, I mean, they're masters of organization, right? They're masters of delegation,
Yeah.
of understanding, like, all these individual needs
Right.
that are part of this larger group dynamic.
Yeah.
And they have to be good at that in order to create systems and instill discipline
Okay.
and, to motivate individuals towards a common goal.
Right.
So it's like she saw a parallel
Yeah, so she's like
between these roles.
taking these skills from these roles
Yeah.
and applying them to
So being a mother of 9 too.
to running this giant family, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it makes each child, it's almost like each child is like a student or a soldier.
Yeah, like they're all part of this like unit.
Yeah, in her little platoon, in her little classroom, yeah.
Yeah, and she needs to figure out, how to manage each of them
Right.
as an individual, but also as part of that larger group.
Yeah, and it's not just about, making sure they're fed and clothed, right?
Right.
It's about, attending to their individual needs, their goals, their hobbies, their, all of it.
Yeah, and she's actually quoted as saying that raising one child is essentially the same as raising 10.
Oh, wow.
She says you're still attending to their needs, goals, hobbies. It's just on a bigger scale.
It's just more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more.
So it's an interesting perspective, right?
It is.
Because it kind of suggests that good parenting is good parenting no matter how many kids you have.
Uh-huh.
It's just that, like, the logistics and the stamina required increase.
Yeah, the scale just blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's not necessarily harder,
no,
but there's more of it.
more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, another detail that really stood out to me was the fact that all of her children are like super high achievers
Yes.
academically.
Like crazy high achievement.
I mean, we're talking like they consistently score no less than 94%,
Wow.
with some of them achieving a perfect 100.
So is there a secret sauce? Like, what's happening?
Well, right? Is there some like secret study strategy that's being passed down through the generations?
Yeah, like how are they all so successful?
Yeah. Is it nature or nurture? You know what I mean? Like, is it in their genes, or is it something about the environment she's created? Well, I think there's probably a lot of both going on, right? But, I think the environment probably plays a huge role.
Yeah.
Right? If you think about it, I mean, this emphasis on planning, organization, discipline, like that has to permeate the household, right?
Right.
So it's probably created this culture where learning and achievement,
like, it's just what they do.
It's valued. Yeah, and it's what they do. So it's not just about individual willpower, intelligence, right? It's like the family structure itself, the systems that are in place, like that's fostering this environment where academic success almost becomes
like a natural byproduct?
Yeah, a natural byproduct. Yeah. It's fascinating.
It really is. So it's not just about, what's going on in their individual heads. It's like the whole system is working together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got planning, we've got systems, we've got this, like, culture of achievement. But what about, like, individual drive? Right. Like, Hamda's determination to get her doctorate while all of this other stuff is going on.
That's incredible.
That's inspiring.
Yeah.
But how much of it is just sheer willpower, and how much of it is having the right support system?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, even with the best planning, raising 19 children takes a village.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you can't do that alone.
Right. So what about the support network?
Well, the sources really highlight the role of her family, especially her husband. It seems like they really share responsibilities, which allows her the space and the time to pursue her academic ambitions.
Right. So he's not just like, sitting back while she's doing all of this.
No, it sounds like a true partnership.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a team effort.
Yeah.
And it's a good reminder, I think, that even with like exceptional drive, right?
Yeah.
To achieve something like this, it takes a team.
It takes support.
Right.
Absolutely.
You need like a shared vision. Right.
Yes.
And a supportive environment.
Yeah. You can't do it all yourself.
Yeah. And the sources actually quote her as saying that she never gave up on her academic dream.
Oh, wow.
Even when, faced with these, like, what most people would consider insurmountable obstacles.
Right.
So it's a combination of internal drive and external support.
That allowed her to get there.
That let her push through it.
Yeah.
Right, and ultimately achieve her goal.
And it really speaks to the power of, like, both of those things. Like, you need the drive, but you also need the support.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important message.
So it's inspiring, but it's also, like, it makes you think, right?
Yeah, it makes you think.
Like, if she can do this, what are we capable of?
Right, exactly.
If she can get a doctorate, raise 19 children, work a job, run a business.
With the right support?
Like, what are we making excuses about?
Yeah, what's stopping us?
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's a question we're going to dig into.
Yeah, I want to unpack that a little bit more.
In just a moment.
Yes.
But before we do that, let's take a step back.
Okay.
And kind of think about, like, what are the big takeaways so far?
Yeah. What are the key insights that we're seeing here?
Yeah, what are you seeing?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest one for me is that, like, this is not about superhuman abilities, right? Yeah. This is about strategy.
Right.
This is about planning, and this is about being deliberate about how you manage your time and energy.
Right. And it's like she took this idea of project management and she applied it to her life.
To her life.
Yeah. So all these projects going on.
Yeah.
And she needed a system to make it work.
She needed a system, yeah. And she had to get really good at it because she couldn't afford to let things fall apart.
Right.
Right? Remember, she hates chaos.
Yeah, so meticulous planning wasn't just like a preference for her.
It was a necessity.
It was a necessity, right?
Yeah.
She had to create this structure.
To make it work.
To make it work, right. So what can we learn from this?
Yeah.
Obviously, most of us aren't juggling 19 children.
Right.
But I think there's a universal principle here. Right?
Absolutely. Whether it's managing a busy household.
Or even just like your own life.
Or just like your
work, your personal life.
Yeah, your personal goals.
Hobbies.
Your hobbies.
Yeah.
All the things that we're trying to fit into our lives.
That's the things.
Having a system can make a huge difference.
A huge difference.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, it can be really simple.
Right. Like, it can be just using a calendar effectively.
Yeah, like actually using your calendar.
Yeah, like actually using it.
Not just like looking at it.
Right.
But like using it.
Yeah. Setting daily priorities, breaking down.
Writes things down.
those big tasks.
Into smaller chunks.
Yeah, into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about delegation.
Oh, delegation's huge.
Right. Like, one of the striking things about her story is the support network. Absolutely.
And the role that her husband plays.
Like a true partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a reminder that we don't have to do everything ourselves.
No.
Right.
Get help.
Seek help.
Yeah, from your family, your friends, colleagues.
Even professional services.
Yeah, like whatever you need to free up your time and energy.
And, it highlights something else too, right?
Okay.
It's not just about having people around.
It's about communicating.
It's about the communication.
Right.
Right. Like, I imagine for her system to work, there had to be a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of shared understanding.
About who's doing what.
Of who's responsible for what.
Yeah, and how everybody's needs.
Everybody's needs are met, right.
Yeah, it's not just like a one-way street.
Right.
It's like a collaborative effort.
Yeah, it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got planning, we've got delegation, we've got this strong support system.
Yeah, we've got a lot.
What else can we learn from her? What's applicable to, to our own lives?
Well, I think there's something that we haven't touched on yet.
Okay.
And that's like, amidst all of this planning, all this logistics, all of this craziness, she never lost sight of her goal.
Right. She never gave up on that doctrine.
Never gave up.
Yeah.
Even when, surrounded by diapers and deadlines.
Commerce orders.
And business stuff. Yeah, she still had this vision.
Yeah.
And she held on to it.
It's pretty incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, what was it about that goal?
Yeah.
Like, what kept her going?
Yeah, what was driving her?
Right.
Like, was it a passion for her field? Was it a desire for personal growth?
Right.
Was it a sense of, like, I have to do this for my kids?
Right.
Like, what was it?
Yeah, I don't know.
But whatever it was, it's clear that that commitment was a huge part of her success.
Yeah, and it's a reminder, I think, that sometimes achieving big things requires holding on to that vision.
Even when it's hard.
Yeah, even when it seems impossible.
Yeah.
Like that relentless drive.
Yeah, that fire.
That inner fire.
It keeps you moving forward.
Yeah, even when you want to give up.
Yeah.
So we've got the planning, we've got the delegation, we've got the support, we've got the vision.
Yeah.
Is there something more? Like, is there something about her story?
I think there is something more.
That transcends all of this?
Yeah, there's something about it that's like, it's not just about those practical elements. It's about the resilience.
Okay.
It's about pushing past your limits.
Okay.
It's about, like, defying expectations and proving that you can do anything if you have the right mindset.
And the right support.
And the right support.
Yeah.
It's a story that makes you want to dream bigger, right?
Yeah, like, why are we setting these small goals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, let's think big.
Let's think big and believe in ourselves regardless of what's going on.
Absolutely.
And it's a story that resonates with everyone, I think.
It does.
Even if our lives are nothing like hers.
Yeah, it's a human story.
Right, because
it's about the human spirit.
It's about the human spirit.
Yeah.
It's about our capacity for growth, for adaptation, for doing things that seem impossible.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that, like, our potential
is bigger than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the right combination of planning
and support
and determination,
we can achieve anything.
We can do amazing things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with all the chaos and the demands of daily life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if there's one thing that we want our listener to take away,
one big takeaway
from this deep dive,
it's
don't let the scale of your dreams
intimidate you.
Yeah. Channel your inner Hamda.
Yes.
Break those goals down.
Yeah.
Build your support system.
And believe in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautifully said. All right. We've reached the end of part 1 of our deep dive.
Okay.
Into the extraordinary life of Hamda al-Ruwaili.
I can't wait to hear more.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
We'll continue the conversation in just a moment.
Sounds good.
But for now, we'll take a quick break.
Okay.
All right. It's really easy to get caught up in, like, the sheer scale of her achievements.
Right.
But I think what's really fascinating is how she managed to stay so organized and productive with
against all the chaos.
All the demands of the family and work and everything else.
It's remarkable.
Yeah. So there's a lot we can unpack there.
Yeah, there really is.
And one of the big takeaways, I think, is this idea that it's not about, like,
superhuman ability.
Some superhuman ability, right?
Yeah,
it's about, like, strategy and planning and being really deliberate.
Yeah.
About how you manage your time and your energy.
It's about making choices.
Right.
Yes.
It's like she took project management and applied it to her life.
To her life, yeah.
Which is, I mean, think about it.
It's crazy.
Like, she's got multiple projects running.
All the time.
All the time. She's got her family. She's got her job.
Her business, her study.
A business, her studies.
Yeah.
And, like, she needs a system to keep it all on track.
She needs a system, yeah, and she's got to be good at it.
Yeah.
Because she can't, like, let things slip. Because remember, she hates chaos.
Yeah.
So for her, this level of planning, it's not just a preference.
It's a necessity.
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
She has to have a structure that keeps everything, like, from falling apart.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can we learn from this? I mean,
well, I think...
obviously, most of us aren't raising 19 kids.
Right. But the principle still applies.
Yeah, the principle still applies.
Right. Like, whether you're managing a household.
Yeah, or your own life.
Yeah, or just your own life.
But your work.
Your work.
Your personal life.
Your hobbies.
Trying to fit it all in.
Oh, the thing.
Having a system makes a big difference.
It does.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, it can be as simple as actually using your calendar.
Yeah, like actually using a calendar.
Yeah. Setting some priorities each day.
Yeah.
Breaking things down.
Breaking down those big tasks.
Just make it manageable.
Right, into smaller pieces.
Exactly.
And let's not forget about delegation.
Oh, delegation. That's huge.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, one of the things that's really interesting about her story
is the support.
Is the support network.
That she has.
And the role that her husband plays.
It's a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a reminder that, you know, we don't have to do it all ourselves.
We don't ask for help.
Ask for help. Get help.
Yeah.
Whether it's from family, friends, colleagues. Professionals, whatever, to free up some time and energy.
Yeah.
And it highlights something else, too.
What's that?
It's not just about having people around.
Right. It's about
communication.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got to be able to communicate.
I imagine that for her system to work, there had to be a lot of dialogue, a lot of shared understanding about
who's doing what,
right, and making sure that everyone's needs are being met.
It's not a one-way street.
Right. It's not just like she's delegating to everyone else.
No, it's a collaboration.
It's a collaboration.
Yeah.
So we've got the planning, we've got the delegation,
the support.
We've got this strong support system.
That's a good start.
What else can we learn from her?
Well, I think there's something that we haven't really talked about yet.
Okay.
And it's this idea that, like, amidst all of this planning and logistics and craziness, she never lost sight of her goal.
Right. That doctorate.
She
never let go of that.
Never let go. Even when she was, like, surrounded by diapers and deadlines and
e-commerce orders.
Business stuff.
Yeah.
She still had this vision.
Yeah.
She held on to it.
It's pretty incredible.
It really is.
Like, what was it about that goal that kept her going?
Yeah. What was that driving force?
Right.
Was it passion for her field?
Right.
Was it a desire to grow?
Or maybe even, like, a sense of, I have to set an example for my kids.
Right. Like, what was it?
I don't know.
But whatever it was, it's clear that, like, that commitment played a huge role in her success.
Right. It's a good reminder that sometimes achieving extraordinary things requires holding on to that vision. Even when
it's hard.
It seems really hard.
Yeah.
Or impossible even.
Yeah.
Like that drive, that inner fire that keeps you going.
Even when you just want to quit.
Yeah. When you want to give up.
When you're exhausted, you just got to keep going.
So we've got the planning, we've got the delegation, we've got the support.
The vision.
Okay.
I think there's one more thing.
Is there something more?
Yeah, there's something about her story that's like, it's beyond those practical elements.
Okay.
It's the resilience.
Okay.
It's pushing beyond what you think your limits are. It's about defying expectations.
Yeah. And proving that
you can do anything.
You can do it with the right
mindset.
And the support.
Yeah, it's a story that makes you want to dream bigger.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like, why are we settling?
Why are we setting these small goals?
Yeah, think big.
You know.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
No matter what.
Yeah. And it's a story that I think resonates with everyone.
It does.
Even if our lives look nothing like hers.
Yeah, because at its core, it's a human story.
Right.
It's about the human spirit.
It's about
our ability to grow.
Yeah.
Adapt. Achieve things that seem impossible. Yeah.
It's a reminder that our potential is probably a lot bigger than we think.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that with the right combination of planning and support.
And just, like, not giving up.
determination.
Yeah.
We can achieve amazing things.
Even in the midst of all the chaos of life.
Right. Even with all the craziness of daily life. Exactly.
So if there's one thing we want our listener to take away,
it's this.
From this deep dive.
Sometimes let the size of your dreams
intimidate you.
Yeah.
You know.
Channel that inner Hamda.
Channel your inner Hamda.
Break it down.
Break it down. Get the support you need. And believe in yourself.
In yourself.
Beautifully said.
Okay.
So we've reached the end of part 2 of our deep dive.
Oh, already?
Oh.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Into the extraordinary life of Hamda Al-Ruwaili.
I'm hooked.
We'll be right back.
Can't wait.
Hamda's story has really given us a lot to think about.
It really has.
It's inspiring on so many levels. But I think the thing that I keep coming back to is this idea that we underestimate our own potential.
Yeah, I think that's a really common thing.
Right.
Like, we get so caught up in our day-to-day.
Yeah, just the grind.
The grind, that those big dreams.
Those big dreams.
Start to feel impossible.
Yeah, they fade away.
They do.
And it's easy to, look at someone like Hamda and be like, well, my life's not like that. So
Right, how can I possibly achieve anything like that?
Yeah, but I think, the point isn't to compare ourselves to her.
Right.
Or to feel inadequate.
Yeah, it's not about that.
Because we don't have 19 kids or a doctorate.
Right.
It's about
the principles.
Yeah, taking those principles.
Then applying them.
And seeing how they
to your own life.
Apply to our own lives, yeah.
In your own way.
Right, on our own scale.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
And think about our listener for a second.
Okay, yeah.
What can they take away from this?
Like, what's something actionable?
Yeah, something practical.
Yeah.
What are, concrete steps
that they can take?
That people can take to, unlock their own potential.
Yeah.
Even if their goals are totally different.
Completely.
From Hamda's.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Where do we even begin?
Well, I think maybe the first step is, identifying that dream.
Yeah.
Like that thing that's been in the back of your mind.
Right. The thing that's a little scary, but also really exciting.
Yes.
If you could just, make it happen.
Like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Yeah.
That's a good way to think about it.
So reconnecting with that.
Yeah, with that feeling of possibility.
Yeah, allowing yourself to dream big.
Even if it feels a little overwhelming at first.
And it doesn't have to be like writing a novel or starting a business.
No, it could be anything.
Right.
It could be small.
It could be learning a new skill.
Yeah.
Taking a class.
Starting a new hobby.
A new hobby.
Yeah.
The important thing is that it's something that stretches you.
That pushes you outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, something that makes you grow.
Makes you grow.
So once you have that goal in mind,
okay,
what's next?
Then you channel your inner Hamda.
Okay.
You make a plan.
Okay, so we don't need the color-coded spreadsheets necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily.
But we do need a plan.
We need some kind of plan. It's about breaking that big goal down
okay.
into smaller steps.
Manageable steps.
Yeah. What are the milestones?
Right.
What are the resources you need?
Okay.
What are the potential problems? And how can you avoid them?
Right. And I think this is where, visualization comes in.
Oh, visualization's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just about, making a to-do list.
It's about seeing yourself.
It's about seeing yourself achieve the goal.
Feeling it.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to achieve that goal?
Yeah. And using that feeling to keep you going.
Yeah.
And speaking of keeping you going,
yeah,
let's talk about setbacks for a second.
Oh, yeah. There will be setbacks.
Right.
There will.
We're going to hit roadblocks.
Guaranteed.
There will be moments of doubt.
Exhaustion. You'll want to quit.
And that's where I think...
That's where Hamda's story is so powerful.
Yeah, she faced huge challenges.
Huge challenges.
But she had that determination.
Yeah.
And that support system that helped her through.
It allowed her to keep going.
Right. And it's a good reminder that resilience is key.
Resilience is everything.
Yeah.
It's about embracing the journey.
Yeah, knowing that there will be bumps along the way.
There will be bumps.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line to success.
Yo.
It's messy.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's part of the process.
Yeah, and you're not alone.
Right. Just like Hamda had her support system.
We all need people.
We all need people.
To cheer us on.
Yeah, to help us out.
To offer advice.
Yeah.
To just be there.
To pick us up when we fall.
Yeah, build that network.
Right. Family, friends, mentors.
Online communities.
Online communities, all of that.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah. And most importantly.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
You can do it.
Silence that inner critic.
Yeah, that inner voice.
Embrace your strengths.
Trust your gut. Trust your gut, yeah. And trust that you can do amazing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's I think, the most powerful message
from her story
that we can take away from Hamda's story.
Yeah, it's a story about,
It's about the human spirit.
The human spirit.
And what we're capable of.
Yeah.
Even when things are tough.
Even when it seems impossible.
Yeah.
You can still do it.
So to our listener, we say this.
Don't be afraid to dream big.
Dream big. Embrace those goals.
Even if they're scary.
Even if they scare you a little bit.
Yeah.
Channel your inner Hamda.
Make a plan.
Make a plan. Build your support system.
And believe.
And believe in yourself.
In yourself.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe one day
we'll be doing a deep dive on your story.
We'll be doing a deep dive on you.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the extraordinary life of Hamda Al-Rawali.
Me too.
It's been really inspiring for me.
Absolutely.
And we hope you found it insightful and motivating as well.
Yeah, go out there and achieve your dreams.
Yeah. Until next time, keep diving deep.
And keep dreaming big.
And keep reaching for the stars.
See you next time.
Bye.